attendance.
Countdown, man, countdown. Trisha, countdown 3, 2, 1.
Yes, yes, sir. So, sir, it's 3, 2, 1. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Live Pharma Coalition, a global knowledge and networking platform for pharma professionals. As you know, in Live Pharma Coalition, we go live on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday, 11 o'clock, and invite industry experts to talk about current challenges and best practices across pharmaceuticals. Today's episode, LPC 177th episode, is itself a landmark episode which talks about our dedication, commitment, and perseverance to continue this interactive session and to bring out the learning and development for each one of you. As you know, market dynamics are changing very rapidly, and that is why we need to upgrade ourselves time to time according to the latest need in the pharmaceutical market. And that is what is the purpose, whole purpose of Live Pharma Coalition. Today, in LPC, something unique is there. One of our core team member, our co-founder, ICS Verma sir, is conferred honorary doctorate degree from Maryland University. So LPC team is very much delighted to congratulate Dr. ICS Verma sir for this prestigious award, lifetime award we can say, of being a doctor now, because of his commitment and dedication towards the industry. So congratulations, Dr. ICS Verma sir, on behalf of LPC family, all the viewers.
Thank you, Yashwant and team.
And the core team members.
Truly humbled. Thank you very much.
That is a great achievement from your side also, and great achievement. We want to show you some of the picture to all the viewers. This is the picture of Dr. ICS Verma sir receiving the award of doctorate from Maryland University, USA. So it is a great moment of pride.
So we have two LPC members here, Dr.
Yes.
Rajput and ICS, Dr. ICS.
Dr. Rajput and one more, sir. And,
Ganesh
you.
Dr. Ganesh Naik also doctor.
Okay.
So Dr. Rajput was the jury member. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Jury member.
So I have received from his hands. So it was
Congratulations.
And the program happened in Delhi, sir.
Delhi. Yes. 2 days.
That is a great achievement. So once again, congratulations. That is a great thing. And today's session, our member only, Dr. ICS Verma sir, is going to present on communication skill. As you know, communication is very much important for each one of us in whichever level we are. Medical representatives need to communicate to the doctor. Area managers need to communicate to the doctor, their team members, and also the head office. Regional manager need to communicate to their manager, their team members, supply chain, and customers, and also HO team. So every level, we need to be very good in effective communication. And communication should be concrete, complete, and also concise. So today's session will be throwing upon some light on what is the effective communication. And with me, I have the co-moderator, Arumugam Arasan, Journal Sales Manager, Avocad. Arumugam, thank you very much for accepting our invite and coming. What is your opinion about communication?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and LPC. I missed the LPC Mumbai session, but last visit, Arpan sir and ICS sir, you and narrated which are the point I missed in LPC. Basically, I felt that I attended Mumbai conference. Really, it was very nice. All the missed point, I learned many things. So once again, congratulations our ICS Verma sir, Dr. ICS Verma sir, because his perseverance and persistence every Sunday, even you traveling also, joining them, he is contributing and helping us to LPC continue. Thank you, sir. You taught me many things. Even during that our LPC leadership program was there 1 year before. Sir used to take classes part to developmental skills for the manager. I learned many things from him. And as you said, sir, communication is key in the business, the marketing, in all aspects. As you told, from the representative up to the CEO, it is very, very essential. It's a very important topic today, and I'm very happy to hear and learn from IC Sharma sir. As Rajput sir told, if any invitation coming as a speaker, I will join. Any invitation coming for a attender, I will join. Because while speaking also I learn, while listening also I learn. Like that, I thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I want to listen and learn from ICS Sharma sir today's presentation. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, Arumugam. So now over to ICS, sir.
Thank you, Yashwant, and thank you, Arpan. Thank you, Arsan.
Yes,
So we have, we have been in industry and communication. We, as Yashwant also mentioned in the beginning, we came across communication from our maybe from the position of medical representative till you are becoming a leader, and you become a state head or a country head, maybe a BU head. But there are few things which we always sometimes we ignore in communication. So these are some of the things which we are going to discuss today, which includes your leadership communication, which is very, very essential. So let me just share my screen. Yeah. Can you able to see my screen now?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so I'll keep it full screen now. It's coming full screen, or yeah, fine. This is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Full screen.
So non-verbal communication from the perspective of a leader. So it's like a leadership communication. Today we will discuss, and some of the facts and some of the figures that we will discuss, and see some case studies, probably if you get time. So all of you might know about this great warrior Abhimanyu, the story of Abhimanyu, and why this story of Abhimanyu related to our communication. Suddenly, why a great character from Mahabharata come into communication. Any guessing, Arsan?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Yeah. So we are talking about Abhimanyu in communication. Abhimanyu was a great warrior, but why the word of communication is coming when we are talking about the story of Abhimanyu? Any guessing? Any guessing from the audience?
Might be non-verbal communication, non-verbal appearance.
Yes. So we all know that when Abhimanyu was in the mother's womb, Subhadra's womb, Ma Subhadra's womb. One day Arjun was, every day night he used to tell the stories, like and he used to explain how to enter into Chakravyuha or the Padmavyuha. We call it Padmavyuha or Chakravyuha. So the story was, he was narrating every day, and sometimes Subhadra used to get to sleep, but there was a sound coming from the womb, and Arjun never realized that it was Abhimanyu who was actually giving, nodding to his story. So he was listening in the womb, and that happened. And sometimes, so he completely knew or listened that story till he enters. And something there was an obstruction happened, and he didn't hear the next story, how to come out. Some says that Krishna has abducted, or maybe whatever, maybe Arjun has realized that, okay, Subhadra was sleeping, so he stopped telling how to come out of Chakravyuha. That's why we see, like, when Mahabharata happened, so he knew that, it's very, very difficult strategy to enter into that, but still he entered, and we all know that, he has been martyred in that fight. He single-handedly handled the entire Kaurava warriors like Karna, and even Duryodhana, so all these warriors. But coming to science, let us understand what science is, because we are in modern age. So this is from WebMed, which says that babies begin to absorb language when they are inside the womb during the last 10 weeks of the pregnancy. So this has been studied medically that babies listen and they understand. That's why doctors advise a mother to listen to the music, to listen to some of the great stories, and any kind of good stories like Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any those motivating stories and inspiring stories, because the child is listening. That means we start communicating even before we are born. It's not just we born, and we all know that the baby communicate when it's in the womb. She when she's thirsty and when she's hungry, it will start kicking the mother. So by saying that she needs some attention, she needs food, so kind of thing. And we all understand, once most of us are fathers and a mother here. So when they get anything, mother only understands their language. So language actually bonds before us and ends. We all know when it ends, when we die. There are people who communicate even after death. So this is a kind of importance that communication has in our lives. Let's forget about profession for some time. Even if you wanted to be a successful man or woman, you have to know how to communicate better and how to understand some cues in communication. So when you talk about communication, we all know that verbal, non-verbal, and there are other cues of communication. So as far as the study is concerned or research is concerned, the only 7% of the communication is through verbal, and 38% is the tone, which is again a part of verbal and non-verbal, and 55% is non-verbal. That means if you take up the verbal of 7%, 93% of your communication, you are communicating either non-verbal or with the tone, the way you are speaking about, how smoothly or how harshly you're talking. So that comes under your tone, intonity. That means, that's why if you want to master the communication, you should master these two skills, the other part of this 93%, and 7% is only verbal. So today we will talk about some of the non-verbal communication in perspective of leadership. First is body language, and we all know that we might have come across this during our college and maybe during our training programs. They talk about how you sit, how you talk, how you are moving your hands, and all those things comes under body language. And being a leader, it's always important to look like a leader. Otherwise, if you look very very I could say, like if your body language is showing not a leader, if it is not bringing the confidence or the energy on the table, then it's very difficult to lead a team. So being a leader, the first and foremost important thing to have in communication is look like a leader, speak like a leader, and behave like a leader. So that is one thing. So because we all know that first impressions count, and you always get only one chance to make a first impression. You will not get a second chance to make a first impression, right? So it's very important as a leader, your dressing and how you smell, that is also a communication. And it's very, very important for a leader to smell good, to speak, to look, and to talk good. Okay. And we all know some of the postures as a part of non-verbal communication, how you stand, how you move, and sometimes how you when you're talking, what kind of visual cues that you're giving. So these are some of the visual cues which we can just see if if you wanted to tell somebody don't speak, or when you feel that you're not happy, or you have a headache. So these are all kind of with a facial expression you can have this. So what exactly why we need to understand about communication is because body affects the mind. The way you look, the way you sit affects your mind, and that's why you should act confidently to feel confidently. So wherever you're going, you should actually, first of all, you should be confident first, then only you can speak confidently, you can feel confidently, and you can talk to the people confidently. So you need to prepare your body itself to be confident. So that is the first thing. So this is one example, like how what you feel and how you look like. So if you feel, even though you're a cat, and if you think that you are a lion, your mind is saying you're a lion, and you will act like a lion, and you will think like a lion. But if you believe that you are cat, then you will be a cat. You will always listen to the people, and you will always only you will end up being a follower. You can never lead. So it's how you look at yourself into the mirror, into yourself. So that is more important than how people look at you. So it is called the self-image. So it's very important. Being a leader, you should have your self-image, and you should first believe that, yes, I am the one who can lead, I am the one who is going to take the charge, and then you can do that. And then we always come across this type of leadership also as a charismatic leadership. So what do you mean by charisma? It's a kind of the people always wanted to associate with charismatic leader, and how that becomes reality, because you bring a lot of energy, and we call it as executive presence. Executive presence is something that when you go into a room, the people feel that you are here. That means the moment Armugam enters into the room, people know, yes, Armugam sir has come. So that is called executive presence, and you are making your presence through your visual cues, how you're confident, how you're talking to them, how you are interacting with them. So all this affects. And positive posture always inspires and trust confidence in the others. So that's why it's very, very important. Before you are telling somebody to be confident, first of all, you should be confident, and you should be having trust on yourself. So think and move like a lion. We all know that jungle, in any forest, elephant is the biggest, giraffe is the tallest, okay, the fox is the wisest, but who is the king? Lion. Because lion acts and thinks that it's a king. That's why it is considered as a king. If he himself feels कि ठीक है यार, मुझे सबको सुनना है, मुझे मतलब जो बोलना है वही करना है, then it will become a other animal. It can never be a king. So these are some of the from nature what you can learn from lion. There are many great things you can learn, and you can implement as a leadership, especially how you move confidently in the chamber. So move slowly and confidently, and be purposeful. Okay, so when you are going, you go with a purpose. It's not that okay, you are going confidently but you don't have any content, then it's difficult. So now let's talk about some of the body languages. Okay, one is facial expression. We already discussed how you express yourself in a meeting, or while you're talking to doctor. You are meeting a doctor, and doctor was talking to something, but you are not maintain the eye contact. You are looking at something, so that distracts, and that will actually gives a doctor कि मतलब वो उसको पता चला है कि भाई इसको तो इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है, वो सिर्फ आया है, कंपनी बोल रहा है कि मिलने के लिए, तो वो आ गया. So face is the index of mind, and understand the power of messages conveyed through facial expressions. If somebody, for example, you're taking a class, and you realize that not all are, most of them are either sleeping or feeling very bored. That means you need to stop, you need to pause. Don't shout on them. It is because of your lecture they are getting bored. So what you need to do is, you need to understand, abhi ek matlab, crack a joke, tell a story, give them a break, change their positions, so that give them once again energy, pass into the room, and then you can start. So that is how as a leader, you should understand the facial expression of customers as well as your internal customers. Very, very important, your own team members. And then head is very, very important part of your non-verbal communication, because when you say that, when you are accepting somebody, or when you are agreeing with somebody, you will always nod your head, right? Yes. So that means the speaker knows, okay, the other guys knows that you are listening to him and you are agreeing with him. And if you don't agree, you will say like this, you will nod like this. It's a very universal language, and you don't need to understand. Even you go to Africa, you go to Sahara, so these language and these nodes are most of them are common, but there are some signs which are different from each country. So when it coming to head, if a person brings his head down and looking his feet, so it is a symbol of modesty sometimes. And that's why, when you go to temple, you will always stand with calm, and you will either look at the idol, and then you will take a your head is bowing, you bow your head. So that is a example of modesty. Similarly, if somebody is keeping his head like this, is showing his authority, or kind of, if somebody is looking at some other side, that means he is showing his disinterest. So these are some of the cues that you can get it from head. And eyes, we all know that eyes play a very, very important role in terms of nonverbal communication. So I don't need to explain much, because we have been told, and we have been come across the eye contact, how to maintain eye contact and why to maintain eye contact. Very, very important. So because the only problem comes when you are talking to a woman. So when you're talking to a woman, don't look or gaze directly into their eyes. That is considered as a wrong communication. Okay. So when it comes to any woman, when you're talking to women, always try to look at some side, or don't just completely peep into their eyes. You can still maintain eye contact, but not directly into them. So this is some of the things when it comes to eyes. So because this says that looking at another person can indicate a range of emotions. See, when you're talking to somebody and you can understand their love, peace, or when you're talking to somebody and if he is hating you, you will come to know through eyes, the kind of expression that they're showing. So, and sometimes, if somebody are in danger, that also you'll come to know through looking into the eyes. And if somebody is doing talking मतलब कोई झूठ बोल रहा है, तो that also you will come to know. So they will never kind of maintain an eye contact when somebody is speaking lies. So this is about eyes. And then signs as a language. So this signs has a different meaning in different regions. For example, when you say like this, it is very, yeah, you look beautiful, or it's very nice. But in other countries, that has a different meaning. So each country has a different symbols. Maybe we always say thumbs up, but in some countries, thumbs up considered to be a different meaning. So we should know those cultures before you are actually, using those symbols. So whenever you are into that country, you should know those signs. And then, but most of the signs, like, the no parking, no stop. So these are universal signs everywhere, that is, understood and understandable, and you can use those signs as a sign as a language or a non-communication, non-verbal communication. And this is one sign. We all know that, you know, when we say that like this, it's love. Okay. And when you say, you know, this is an achievement, success. So we always use these signs whenever we are, you know, interacting with the people or communicating with people. And most important cue, because when we discussed about the nonverbal communication, we also spoke about smelling good. So maintaining hygiene and personal hygiene, especially your clothes, it should be washed. And if you iron it, it's even much better. But never wear the socks second time. It should be used not more than one day. So because that will give a bad smell, and that smell distracts the other person. So maintaining hygiene is very, very important when you are into sales and marketing. And most of the times we always see that people, you know, why people dress like, I always see Arasan being come with tie, and it's his way of communicating, you know, his sincerity, because he's, even though it's a Sunday, he can just wear a t-shirt. But when he's coming with this, that means that is showing his commitment towards his profession. So I have another friend called Bhanuji Rao. So now he is in Africa. So I never see him in the field without a tie. So that is your signature. So there are few things, you know, you can communicate to your customers how sincere you are, how, you know, the kind of, you know, through dressing also you can actually communicate. So that's what I just would like to put into this, because yeah, you never know, sometimes, you know, you are going in a short mein ja raha hai aur koi acha customer dig gaya, koi big doctor. So, and you are in actually calls time, so that will give a wrong impression on you. So that's why it's always better to, you know, be prepared to meet the customers at any time. But if you're traveling, that's fine, you know, maybe you can be in casuals, and that you're communicating that, you know, you're going in, and that's a free time for you. It's a personal time for you. So what it says is, you know, you never know when you will require to meet somebody from outside your company, and that maybe your customer, that maybe your boss, maybe sometimes. So your image within organization and outside organization should be maintained perfectly, and that is called, we call it as dress for success. Even only to talk about dressing sense, it will need only one hour, not less than 1 hour. And there are consultants today are available, you know, image consultants. They just only talk about dressing, how to dress, what kind of color combination that you should use. We all see sometimes, you know, people wear red shirt and yellow pant, red shirt and black pant. So these are, you know, so it's always better to wear light color on the shirt, and then any dark or even brown is good as a trouser, and then your tie should always match your trouser, basically. So this is how, you know, dress also, through dressing also you communicate. So which is most of the times, when it comes to non-verbal communication, we always say that posture, gesture, and all these things, right, Arasan?
Yes, 100%, sir.
Yeah, but there are many other cues that we can actually find out through non-verbal communication. So this is one of the, you know, professional excellence in New York College of Pennsylvania. They have done a survey which says that appearance ranked second only to communication skills. So when respondent named qualities most often associated with professionalism. So it's very important being professional. Your dress sense creates a kind of, you know, brand image. So that is why you don't need to wear big brands only to, you know, to look better. Even a local stitching shirt also, it should look good. It should be washed properly and then ironed. So that's all. But always maintain your style. So that creates a kind of, consistency in your profession. Okay, so let's take a break, Arasan, because we discussed about some of the non-verbal cues like postures, gestures, head, eyes, and dressing. I think we have covered these. So let us wait for any comments or any doubts from Facebook or YouTube. We will take up,
Then we will,
and then we will continue with the next session, that is on haptics.
It's a learning for me, sir. When this communication.
We'll talk in the late.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So later we'll take those questions.
Okay.
And when it comes to non-verbal communication, this is very, very important. Especially as a leader, you should very understand this language of haptics, the language of touch. So when your colleague is down, uska matlab sale acha nahi hua, nahi to doctor prescribe nahi kar rahe, when you go him, just pat on his shoulder, that gives a lot of energy. And because you are, when you are enthusiastic and when you are encouraging them, that you're passing on that energy to that other guy. So it tells about how you touch, and this touch is even both animals, human, everybody use this touch language to sense what is the other person's feeling. Because see, for example, whenever we are meeting, when you talk about LPC, where we have recently concluded our LPC 175. So most of the leaders and the mentors, they came, they hugged us, me, Yashwant. So we were like, they were not just giving the handshake, because handshake you will give somebody who is just a known person. Yes, Yashwant, I would like to have your comments, because you have been
you need to stop your slides here. Then only we will be visible. Sir,
okay. I'll just
your slides are visible.
Stop slide share. Yes.
So it was a wonderful learning, sir. I was in Facebook also, YouTube also, watching the audience response. Wonderful response. One thing is everyone is congratulating you for conferring doctorate degree. That is a great thing. And that is a great event. But the presentation today is very, very relevant, because two important aspects you covered today. The one aspect is effective communication, verbal and non-verbal communication. The lion thing you told, why lion is the king in the jungle, right? That is what is very, very important, being assertive. And another aspect you touched upon is grooming and etiquettes, business attire. So both are very, very relevant in pharmaceutical across hierarchy. Again, I am saying across hierarchy.
Yes.
Are you an executive or area manager or regional manager or zonal manager or division head? And even you touched upon a very important point for international business. Many of the people who are going to different countries for international business, they need to know the culture of that country. Very, very important. Otherwise, if their culture is different and you are doing something different, they will not like. Right. That is why before going to the countries, we should know what are the culture, what are the etiquettes and behavior on greetings people, and what are do's and don'ts, and what are the dressing sense they are, which are allowed, not allowed. All these aspects are very, very important in our culture and in our business. So thank you very much for sharing insights, sir. We thoroughly enjoyed that. Looking forward for the next part.
Thank you very much, Yashwant.
It's really interesting, sir, because communication means we also know how to speak English. This only we are thinking communication. Yeah. But this is minority. Our non-verbal is a majority. Really interesting.
Yes. Most of the times we believe that, okay, mera English acha nahi hai, mera Hindi acha nahi hai, so, but that is only 7%.
Correct.
So that 93% you can actually always bring in, and that will play a very, very major role in your profession as well.
Very true, sir.
In your career. So coming to haptics, we discussed about the touch as a language where we can communicate. How when you hug, and when you shake hand, even through shake hands also you will communicate. If you see the shake hand of Modi ji, and you will feel very confident. He shake hands very confidently. If you look at Mr. Trump's shake hand, he shakes hands on the up, by keeping his hand on the upper. That means if somebody wanted to show that I'm superior, they give the shake hand like this, and that is without their intention. These are all involuntary actions. So even by just shaking hands, you will come to know the other person is friendly to you, or they are negative to you, or they wanted to dominate you. Sometimes somebody just dead fish, we call it as dead fish, by just giving that hand unintentionally. So that means they are not interested. अरे यार ये आ गया ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा shake hand दे देंगे. So there are different types of communication. Only through shaking hands you will come to know. So but post COVID, most of the customers have actually stopped giving shake hands, and namaskar is now becoming a major etiquette when you are greeting somebody, and that's a very, very good, because you are passing on your energy to other person, through your heart. So that's a very good gesture, and I think being a leader, you should know how to practice that in a very affirmative and very energetic way to genuinely appreciate and meet somebody. So that is called we call it as haptics. And you might have observed, Arasan, like when the child cries, the moment mother takes into the hand, it will stop crying at very maybe 10 days baby. How does it know? Because the baby knows it's a mother's touch. You can try 10 other girls or women, men, anybody takes into the hand, it will not stop. The moment the mother touches the baby, she knows that it's mother touch. So that is the kind of the power of touch. And being a leader, why we should learn about this? Because when you are talking, when you are moving with your team, how you are communicating, how you are touching, how you are patting on their shoulder. And most importantly, being a leader, most of the times you get setbacks. You got a failure. So nobody is going to actually appreciate. And those times, sometimes, you should be very, but you should not express that contentment, with your team. If you are bringing that negativity with the team will lose the confidence. So you can tell them, yes, we failed, but it's just a stepping stone, and we can grow. We'll change our plan and we will succeed. So that gives them a kind of, and then never bring that negative touch to the people. Always give a positive energy, so that it's both, both negative and positive has its own implications. But in one of the study, it says that negative impact creates at least 4 times higher than the positive. And that's why you say most of the people are depressed, most of the people are not happy. So while talking to negative, always think that is it really necessary to talk about the negativity, because that will create a 4 times higher impact when compared to any other positive symptom or positive energy that you are giving. So very, very important for a leader to understand and implement. Okay, we understand, but most of the times we always bring in our negativity. अरे मेरा घर का वो registration नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा ये नहीं चल रहा है, पंखा नहीं चल रहा है. You talk about all these negatives, people will try to escape from you, because everybody has their own problems. And when you are feeling, मतलब उनका head, maybe you are putting their problems, that will create a lot of negative energy. So always believe in positive touch, energy, and then try to encourage. So it's very important to encourage when the entire team is available. When you wanted to talk to negativity, you take him side and then speak to him personally. So positivity in the team and negativity is always individual, and only you and the guy should know. That should not be, you should not scold the people when they are in the team. So this is one of the lessons that I learned during my leadership journey. So, do we have time? Because we have another.
Yes, sir. One more top 5 to 10 minutes. We can take more. 5 minutes.
Okay.
Proximity,
Because this is
personal
very,
zone.
very
This is also very
important
interesting.
communication, non-verbal
Very
communication.
useful,
We
sir.
call
It's
it
very
as
useful.
proxemics. Okay, the space as a communication. So, if I ask you, Armugam, like, whom do you allow to hug? Who are the people who allow you, whom you allow you to hug? Maybe
Known
you can
people,
name.
respect to people, seniors, and whom you love, who people achieved, who contributed, who supported.
Very, very intimate people, right?
Yes,
Your
yes.
family. One is your wife, mother, father, your daughter, son, and then some of your very maybe close friends, and some of the seniors who are very close to you. Not every senior will hug you, so that is called intimate space. And we also have business space. You might have observed when you go to a stockist or doctor, there is a table, right, between you and the guy, the customer. So that is called business space. And if you are increasing the space, that means you are losing the contact with the customer. So it should be not. So we will discuss about the what is the length of that space of each space in language. Okay, one is intimate. So we just now discussed which within that means somebody is hugging, somebody is actually touching you. So that is a personal space. That's why we don't touch everybody. Where we don't hug everybody. So there are very, very limited people in that very, very intimate space. And you have personal space. Personal space is somebody like, your colleagues are your other company friends who are into personal. Maybe he has a good friend, but not very, very intimate. Maybe you can share some personal experiences, those kind of things. So that is called personal space. That is between 1 to 4 feet. So we maintain minimum of 1 feet, maximum of 4 feet. If somebody is coming into that circle, they are your personal space. And the next is social space, between 4 to 12 feet. So this comes, all your customers comes under your vendors, customers. So all these people comes under your social space. Because when you're talking to the doctor, at least 4 feet ka jo table to rehta hai. So you're talking. So that is the best space you can talk. But when some doctor is very close to you, he will actually allow into your personal space. And if he is so close, then you will become an intimate space. But at least you should not cross more than 12 feet when you are interacting with your customers, with your clients. So that is the maximum limit that should maintain. And public space is, the example is today, like you're taking a class, maybe for 100 people. So you cannot be personal, it's more than 12 to 25 feet. And above that is public space. And I have not mentioned another space is called e-space or digital space. So today you are sitting in Tamil Nadu and I'm in Hyderabad and Yashwant is in Mumbai, and across India the people are watching. So this is a digital space. So in the digital space, what is the most important character or the skill you should have is giving undivided attention. So while attending the session, I'm not scrolling my phone or I'm not talking to any other person. So that is very important, learning skill when you're talking about e-space or digital space. So these are some of the spaces we all know, but to be very successful as a leader, you should understand, who is in which space and who is moving towards and who is moving away. So you should understand, especially with the team. When you're with the team, you should be in a position to understand, somebody is moving away from you. That means either he is oh banda paper dal raha hai, nahi to matlab he is not happy with you. But if you always wanted to come and you might have observed, you have taken a session and you are going out, for a lunch tea break, the people comes and meet you. That means you have influenced them. So that means they wanted to enter into your space. That we always observe during our LPC physical conclaves. So students come to many of the speakers, 5 people, 6 people come and they actually share, they would like to ask the questions. If they are asking, that means you influenced them. After the conference, everybody goes to the home. That means nobody is influenced, nobody is interested in the entire conference. That is the simple example of understanding the space and understanding and your leadership skills. So I think with this, I am stopping from today because there are many other cues, but maybe next time we will discuss about those, non-verbal cues. Thank you. Thank you very much. And over to you, Arasan.
So thank you very much, sir. The first time I'm learning many non-communication with this presentation. I used to read some books and all, but really I'm happy that touch language, during the briefing, the lot of beautiful memories coming to me. When on the briefing time, president will come, NSM, GM, PMT, all the meet together. They will, the people who achieved the quarter achievement, they will come hug them. The person will keep the memory, you take the photo, you share in the Facebook, you feel very happy, I like that.
Yes.
So
yes.
my GM hugged me. I met with the PMT, take photo, he gave, that's why briefing time.
Correct.
When I'm entering 100 people, my NSM GM stand in the queue, they will give shake hand to everyone and they will hug the people.
Yes.
So this is very, very important to team building, especially as a team building. Very, very good learning, sir. This touch language is really needful, for not only for professional, in personal life also, where that hugging, you remember that hugging in the LPC, it always keep in the mind memory a very long time.
Yes. Yes.
Very good learning, sir.
And you cannot hug somebody if you really, you don't know.
Correct.
So it's very, very intimate and very selective.
Very
so,
correct, sir.
But it has got a very good, a very great power. When you're hugging, actually you are passing that, happiness and your love to other person. So that's why it's, it has been said that, being a those children who receive a lot of hugs from the parents always excel in their career, in their life, because they get a lot of energy. And especially the father-daughter, they should have very good intimate relationship till 14-15 years. Father should spend a lot of time with the daughter. That gives a very, very kind of confidence to the daughter. So I always practice, I used to tell at least every night one story since last 18-20 years. So it's very important for you to create a very responsible children. So that can only come when you are maintaining the intimate relationship, when you are sharing your success as well as your failures. This is very, very another important parenting tip. I always used to put it in the Facebook post. We always share our success. But remember, when we were in schools, we always failed. Many times we always failed. It was not just in the studies, but in the sports. Maybe sometimes we could not win the friends. So those failures, if we don't share, they think that they're a failure. मतलब मेरा पापा मम्मा इतना successful था, I'm useless because I'm failing everywhere. So it's very important as a leader, as a parent. So both are same. Actually, what I can say is, whether you're a parent or a leader or a head of a department, your role is to treat your people like your children, like your brother and sister, and always try to help them to grow through your communication, non-verbal communication, through your touch, through your hug, through your executive presence. So there are many other communication models you can use, but always make sure that that brings a lot of energy to them and motivate them to further excel in their careers. So that's what I learned from some of the leaders in the industry, like Mr. Manoj Saxena, Mr. Nikhil Chopra, Mr. Ramesh Juneja, Mr. Mandeep Warrior. So all these leaders, I have learned a lot. I received a lot of energy from them, and I hope that's going to help the others also, to other leaders who are watching this session, to implement in their teams.
100%, sir. Whatever the point you highlighted, all are practical point, which we can use in the field. If anybody using the 90% skill we presented today, they are successful. That's why LPC, we have got very good recognition in LPC in Mumbai, anywhere, because we are teaching them for their betterment.
Yeah.
Really, sir, I am learning, as sir told, I am learning today than teaching. For many skills, it will be very useful for my personal career also and all the viewers. Once again, thanking you for the opportunity for the LPC team.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any questions in Facebook or in YouTube?
I think Yashwant sir, she can see.
Yashwant is there. So let me also check. You can just look into this. Yeah, so if there are not much questions, I think we can conclude today's session. Yashwant, you are there? Okay, so you can just take a closing remarks and your learnings, Arasan, so that we can.
Yes, sir. So as 50% already, sir, already line and the high contact, head, everything point to point, he highlighted, sir. The last two things I learned this, this mainly touch language. That is
Proxemics.
proxemics. These two things are very, very useful. And
Yeah.
as you told,
touch is haptics actually. Haptics is touch and proxemics is space. Yeah.
So very, very, very useful session today. Is useful for our viewers also. Even you are also traveling and all. Thank you for the LPC is the persistence. Wherever you're traveling, even I was traveling from Cochin yesterday. I don't know what time you reach, but sir told if you're reaching, you join. So after reaching immediately, I joined. Sir also in Surat today. He is now traveling.
Yes.
But our LPC persistence and the perseverance is they're not giving up for a continuous session. Really, I have to salute for this LPC. That's why he told Ganesh Naik also appreciated our effort. We're continuously 177 session every Sunday. And we are engaging people for sharing knowledge further without any this non-financial this one services for learning one purpose only. So thank you very much, sir. We will meet in next session. Only one thing I want, because Arpan sir always communicate, the storytelling is a one thing in communication.
Yes.
So today I want to say one story, because story the communication will reach easily. One story is my regional manager used to say the briefing. It is ethical. How would be ethics without telling that. One big contractor that owner having is one engineer. So every last 10 years he's working is thousands of the houses building by the engineer. The owner, the concern is growing year by year. Very big, it's a crore investments grown. So the owner become very happy. He want to contribute to the engineer who helping to build the building.
Who is constructing and who is helping him in this.
He told that without telling, hinting, these two house, two engineers working. So these two house built very in good. I want these two house to be built in very good manner. So they told without any information.
Yeah, he has not actually shared for whom it is building. Yeah,
building. So what happened? Says big concern. Always something error will be there. Come management, some assistant will be there. So they built the house because owner is there at the other country or traveling. He is not seeing some mismanagement. Is that the cement or they not quality one? They build like something. They try to take some money also like other houses. After building house, the key. They asked husband and wife, both the engineer, they came. They gave the key, the owner gave the key to the people. They felt very sad.
He presented it to the engineers.
Engineers. So moral integrity, this is our very, very useful for in our field. So this is storytelling. Since Arpan is not there, small story, I tried it. Thank you, sir.
Very nice story. Let me, put it in that way. It is very important to be ethical
Correct. Sir.
So it is called, the integrity is not because somebody is seeing to sab log matlab wo ethics follow karta hai.
Correct.
But real integrity is nobody is looking at you and nobody even watching. And still you are doing your ethics and you are following ethics, because one thing is very, very, very sure. God knows what you are doing, and you also know what you are doing. So these two are more than enough to be evident of what you are doing, wrong or right, whatever. And if you're doing wrong, you will get wrong thing. In this story, that is what. So he has told the engineer to construct, but he has not told ये किस लिए बना दिया. वो सोचा कि किसी को मतलब वो खुद ही मतलब उसके लिए बना रहा होगा क्या. So he never thought of thinking that it has been gifted to him. So he got a gift which has been built by him only wrongly. So the same thing happens with your teams, with your customers. So if you are not giving proper direction or proper things heartfully, you will always get the same thing written.
So this is actually Shivkara karma. Shivkara story. My regional manager used to tell the story in the briefing. So I remember this story. Yes. That's why the Arpan is not there. I contributing this. Thank you for sharing wonderful story. Thank you and namaskar. Thanks to all the viewers.